welcome to day 17 of McDougall's Maximum Weight Loss Challenge. So we are out, my husband and I are out shopping this morning. We had a couple of stops to make, so we went down to H-Mart and got some Asian grocery type stuff shopping done, and Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, that kind of thing. So we just need to stop at Kroger for a couple of things and Costco for a couple of things, and then we'll be headed home. So this morning I had the caramelized onion and tomato risotto, which was fabulous. It was super awesome, very delicious. I really liked that, actually. So I'm not sure what I'm going to have for lunch or for supper, but yeah, something. I'm not sure yet. So anyway, I will talk to you guys again in a little bit when it comes time for food, and thinking what we're going to be making. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you again soon. Alrighty guys, so my husband and I are actually going to just eat leftovers for lunch. I still haven't planned supper yet, which is not an issue. I will make something for supper and it will be wonderful, I'm sure. But there's a tiny little bit of the mushroom stuff left, so I put some green peas in it. I'm warming that up. Well, I warmed it up. I'm going to eat that. And then I'm going to eat some of the stuff that I made last night, the risotto, onion risotto. And that's going to be lunch. And it's going to be delicious and wonderful. So that's what I'm going to go do. And I'll be back in touch with you guys for supper time, because I'm sure I'm going to make something that will probably be a little bit more effort than lunch and breakfast required, seeing as those were just leftovers. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit for supper. Alrighty guys, so it is about that time to make food again. I took a nap again this afternoon, so I feel so much better rested. But I really have made some seriously complex meals lately in terms of time frame wise, time goes. I'm just looking for something super simple, and actually Dr. McDougall is probably like the king of super simple. So I am going to just make mashed potatoes. However, I am going to make it like a combination of several of his recipes. One of them is just mashed potatoes, where you just take potatoes and mash them and add like use a little bit of soy milk to make them creamy when you mash them. And then one of the things says you can add some vegetables to it if you want to while they're cooking, to make them into like a healthier version of a mashed potato. And then there's another recipe on there that says roasted potato chunks, which basically you mix some spices together and you put it in the oven. Well, you put the potatoes that you've chunked up in there and put it in the oven and bake it like that. So what I'm actually going to do is, I have some of these petite fingerling potatoes left, quite a few of them actually. I'm going to throw those in a pot of boiling water and boil them on the stove. And then I'm going to throw in some vegetables with them after. I want to mash them, and I don't really want to mash the vegetables into them. So I'm going to put the vegetables in after I've mashed the potatoes. It does say to you can put the vegetables in while the potatoes are cooking, but I want to mash the potatoes, and I don't see that as being a very good way to do that. So I'm going to go cook that, and then I'm going to cook some, I'm just going to do mixed vegetables because that sounds super easy. Or maybe if I open the freezer and there's a different mixed vegetable frozen in there of some sort that I think sounds wonderful for mashed potato, then I'll use that instead. I haven't decided to do that part yet, but so no big deal. Some water, and you boil the potatoes and then just mash them with a masher with a little bit of soy milk. So I'm going to go do that, and then I will show you the seasonings that I'm putting in it afterwards. I'm going to kind of make it like the roasted chunk potatoes by putting a few of the seasonings in there, just to make it really super delicious and flavorful. But yeah, so let's go make some potatoes, and then I will see you guys in a few minutes for making them into some delicious mashed potatoes. Alright, so I cooked the potatoes in a little bit of water. I left a little tiny bit of the water in the bottom so that I don't have to use soy milk, just because I mean, if I need to put a little bit more in there because I didn't leave enough water, then I'll do that. But I think that I've put enough water in there. So I am going to mash potatoes. This should be relatively easy to do. And then I'm going to put in, I ended up cooking Brussels sprouts, frozen Brussels sprouts, and then chopped them into some little chunks. I really like Brussels sprouts. I didn't used to. I used to hate cabbage and Brussels sprouts. I'm not exactly sure what happened with that, but they're really wonderful now. And then we're going to put in just a variety of stuff to make this like super tasty. So I'm going to put a little bit of garlic in there because I always put garlic in everything. And the recipes don't say anything about putting onions in, but I'm going to put a little bit of chopped onion in because I like onion. So I'm going to put a little bit of that. And then the recipe calls for some rosemary. These are rosemary leaves. I always buy this and put it in my coffee grinder and grind it up into smaller chunks and then put it back in here because I don't like big long stemmy thingies. But I do like the flavor of rosemary, so I always make this a little bit smaller. And then a little bit of oregano, and when I say a little bit, I mean like a dash. Literally, just a dash, just a little sprinkle. I'm going to put a small squirt of mustard in there. And I'm going to sprinkle it with some nooch because I think that would taste really well. The other two things that it called for were paprika, which totally put paprika in there if you'd like to. I just don't feel like it this time. And then spicy stuff. So whatever kind of spicy it is that you would like, then this would be a good time for you to put that in there when you're going to mash this as well. So I think that I'm going to need a little bit of soy milk now that I'm looking at this. I don't think I left enough water in here. Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, let's come down and mash up some potatoes. Aren't these purple ones so pretty? And yes, I totally left the skins on these because I figured that would taste really good, and nothing wrong with the skin on a potato when they've been cleaned. Yep, I think it needs a little bit more liquid, so I'm going to go get a little bit of soy milk and put a splash in there, and we'll continue mashing. It's purple. It's pretty. Okay, so, whew, that's loud. Let's do some spices. Let's do a little bit of oregano. Okay, a little bit of rosemary. We'll do a squirt of mustard. We'll have to mix that in. Some onion. I like onion. Let's put a little bit more than that in there. Forgot the spoon for the garlic. Garlic. That might be too much for you guys. Make sure you put in the right amount for yourself. I like garlic. And then some nooch. Okay, pretty. Okay, so let's give this a try. It's very good. That is quite tasty. That's delicious. Okay, so yeah, that doesn't need anything more. That's really, really good. I would totally recommend making some simple mashed potatoes on one of these days that you guys are just running really busy. This took me like 20 minutes top, start to finish. So yeah, this was really easy. Very good. I'm going to go and plate this up and make myself some mashed potatoes to eat, and I will see you guys again tomorrow.